Good evening and welcome to PlayStation 5 Assetto Corsa for Formula Racing League. You've joined just in time for the start of qualifying here tonight for round 3, and we are at a very greasy and a very damp, wet Hungary ring for round 3 of PureSimGear. Lewis, pleasure to have you with us live or watching back later. And we've got a full grid tonight of GT3. Now, practice was dry, so I think this wet weather would have completely caught a lot of the drivers off guard a few times to come in. Actually, we haven't got any times on the board just yet. And just to remind you, we have the one qualifying session for both classes. We have Pro and Am classes tonight, and these are designated by your white coloured numbers on the left hand side of your screen, and the red coloured, and those are your Am drivers, as we see the McLaren of Will Friedman go flying off into the barrier. Oh, he would not be happy with that. So, first time on the board is Missile Dogshaft. He's instantly boxed. He's the only time on the board thus far, but we've got cars coming across the line. Cletus in the 41 BMW, one of them. As Cletus crosses the line, can he set a time? He doesn't. He's starting his lap. Who else have we got coming across? Dan Naisbitt and Moggs in the Ferrari goes, but instantly boxing as well. I think the drivers are just getting their tyre pressures sorted. I don't know how so I was reading a comment there on the live stream, actual racing, that ain't buffing out. No mate, I think you're going to need more than T-Cut and WD-40 to sort that out on the McLaren. Good to have you with us, Mark. Hope you're well, mate. Daniel McCutcheon from all the way from Scotland. He'll be used to this weather, won't he? Being Scottish, he'll be used to this wet and rainy weather. No wonder he's gone straight to provisional pole with that time. This is like summertime for him. He'll be racing in that car in shorts. Factor 50 on. As Ahmed Aldori places that Mercedes with a 156.3, so the times are starting to creep in now in that lovely looking CrowdStrike AMG Mercedes. So, hope you're all well joining the live stream tonight. Hope you had a good weekend so far. Enjoy the bank holiday. Bank holiday here in the UK anyway. We have another bank holiday to follow next weekend, thanks to the King's coronation. All hail the King. So Will Friedman's got a new front bumper on that McLaren, and he's going to need a third one. Obi got buy one get two free, because he's just pumped that bumper again. He'll be down B&Q. Chris Gedman's also doing a little bit of grass cutting there. Come on, Chris, you should know better than that, mate. You can't cut grass in wet weather. Your lawnmower gets stuck. The drivers really are struggling around the wet Hungary ring, and the rain is absolutely tipping down. Who can we pick up? We've got the 888 coming down. That's Anderson. Anderson's been quite a quick driver so far this season. He's in the Porsche. Porsche is quite a good car in the wet because of the short wheelbase. It can be a lot better in the wet compared to other cars. We've still got half the grid with not setting a time yet, so the drivers really are struggling to get times on the board. I think this really wet weather has just caught a lot of people out. So Anderson does not improve. Aldori is still your provisional pole sitter, but as you can see, half the grid still to go. Jay Brooker, great commentary. Thank you, mate. I have been a little bit late to the commentary box. I'm not sure if you've been to the Hungary ring before, but it's quite a walk from the paddock to the comms box, so that explains why I've been a little bit late live on air. Nothing to do with family reasons, nothing to do with my 2.5-year-old throwing an absolute paddy before bedtime. Meanwhile, my missus is down the pub getting boozed up. Parents' life, eh? I don't sound bitter at all. Right, so times are coming in now. So we've got a few AM drivers on the board. Daniel McCutcheon is still your quickest AM driver. I think he was quickest last week, or sorry, the opening round at Laguna Seca. McCutcheon, he was on for a double race win, but he had a incident on race 2 right near the end with Buzov, who had an incident. Kind of McCutcheon got caught up in the accident, and that denied him a double race win for the opening round. Ben Berryman as well also had a cracking race on the opening round at Laguna Seca. He started from the back of the grid pretty much due to a incident we had with the server just before the race. But both races he managed to fight his way to a podium position in AM class. But he is currently P2 in class, but 6 overall. And as you can see, we've still got a number of drivers yet to set a time. Will Friedman being one of them. I hope he's got a spare bumper, because he's banged that McLaren up twice in the space of 10 minutes. And he'll be under pressure now. But Al Dory, still the time to beat, with a 1 minute 56.3 as he boxes for a new set of boots. McCutcheon very close behind, and Naisbitt as well. So 2 drivers from the respecting racing team, and they'll be very happy if the grid stays like this for the race. And Anderson as well in 5th, so top 3 from the T1SR racing team. Top 6 if you include Berryman. There's that many of them now, it's probably hard to take over half the grid. And Thomas Fagan here as well, P8. Jay Brooker, that's team manager. I'm expecting more. I can imagine you on the pit wall this weekend, Jay. Flavio Biratori, whatever his name is. So still got a couple of pro drivers yet to set a time. Those are Morex, Pix of Chaos, TK Drifter. Now he is one who you would expect to be right at the sharp end of the grid, but he is struggling. He's in the older spec BMW as well. He's not even in the M4 Beamer. Don't see that car very often nowadays, do you? Blimey. No wonder he's not got a set of time yet. He's got that car out of the garage somewhere and dusted it off. Trotty, the other pro driver, but he is set the time, but he's 5 seconds up the pace in that Aston Martin. And the top 3 are boxed currently, so they're only with a lot of drivers under pressure here. So 3 minutes remaining of this qualifying session, and the track is just getting wetter and wetter. That was a number 1 single, wasn't it? Wet, wet, wet. So top 3 covered by less than a tenth. This is literally very, very close. And as the famous commentary line goes, in 1989, Arsenal beat Liverpool. It is certainly up for grabs. Oh, as we see Frank having a little bit of Tokyo Drift style around the exit of turn 5, I think. Keeps that McLaren pointing in the right direction though. So the top 3 are still in the pits. So are they going to be coming back out? Got the McLaren up to P6 now. And we've still got a number of drivers without a time. That's Gedman. It's Smithy as we see him doing his Tokyo Drift impression. TK Drifter, KY, Pixel of Chaos and Morex, still not yet set time, but here is Morex. Can this be his first time lap of the session as he rounds the final corner? Morex does. Where does he go? He goes up to P6, so a good lap from Morex. We've still got, what, 5 drivers without a time. Pixel, KY's in the pits. We've got TK Drifter, Smithy, and where's Gedman? Gedman's rounding that corner there. So we'll stay on board with Smithy. He's looked like he's got a few scratches on that Porsche. He's going to need some T-cut as well. You can borrow some of that from Friedman. As we see Frank come across the line, I doubt it'll be improving because we saw him sliding all over the place in that last lap, so he won't be improving on that. As we see Missile Dogshaft coming across as well, he does not improve. We then have Captain improved. Where does Captain go? I've just lost him. He goes to 16th. I'm sure he did improve. He maybe improved by a couple of places. So top 3 are still in. So I think they're calling it a day. They certainly can't leave now and get round to start a flying lap. So the top 3, they've packed up, having the packed lunch. So it's all down to Frank, who could potentially steal pole. But at the moment, the way how he's driving, it's not looking possible because he's struggling to keep that McLaren pointing in the right direction. Berryman's in the box, Friedman is in the box, Morex is still out, so Morex could be one to watch. He has certainly got history of being a very quick driver. It's a bit inconsistent from time to time, but he's got the pace. Pixel of Chaos goes to P9. Ben Milden, evening. Hope you're well, pal. So Morex coming around the final corner, real tricky right-handed. It's real slow. It just seems to go on forever and ever before you can finally put the power down. And he exits at the corner. Can he improve? He does not, but he's got time for one more lap. I still think Morex is the one to watch for potential pole position here. I know he's 9/10 off, but he's got the pace for it. So Pixel of Chaos box. Frank is still... No, Frank is boxed. So Friedman's box. Morex is out. Anderson's boxed. Moggs is out. Let's just join on board with Missile Dogshaft here. Can he improve? He does not. What about Captain? Captain does not improve. Jamie Rees is coming around now. Currently set 22nd overall. The BMW really looks like it's struggling to get the traction. Jamie Rees, does he improve? He does, but only to 19th. We're on board with the 14 Ferrari now of Moggs. Can Moggs improve from P10 overall? He does, up to P5. Good lap from Moggs there. Let's jump on board with the 41 car, if I can find it. Where is the 41 car? Here it is, Cletus, BMW. P11 currently. Third in AM class, so he'll be happy with that so far. Third in class. He's got to find over a second, though, to even challenge the next competitor in his tier, which is Ben Berryman. So Cletus does not improve. Then we have TK Drifter. Can he finally get a time on the board? He does not. Oh, he does, sorry, he does. But it's only good enough for 20th. So TK Drifter, one of the quickest guys on the grid, albeit in an absolute relic of a BMW, he is all the way down in P20. And the last car coming round in the Porsche is Bailey. Can he get a time on the board? One of the 3 drivers who have not actually got a classified time. Bailey does not. So, wow. That was carnage of a qualifying session. Let's just give you a summarised, classified summary of who's where. So, pole position is Ahmed Aldori with a 156.3. That lap came quite early on in the qualifying session, so the conditions did not improve at all. So Aldori takes pole. We've got P2 for Danny McCutcheon. That is an absolute cracking result for him, and that is P2 overall, but first in AM class. So he'll be extremely happy with that. Naisbitt takes third. Again, another cracking drive from him to put that Lamborghini Huracan on the second row of the grid. Frank Dress in fourth. Moggs fifth. Ben Berryman P6. Will Friedman in P7. He'll be having a quick cigarette before the race starts. Morex P8. Anderson 9th. Pixel of Chaos P10. Cletus 11th. Third in AM class. Fagan 12th. the toe in 13th. He'll be looking for a toe down the straight, that's for sure. It's hard to overtake round here. 14th is Missile Dogshaft, one of my favourite names on PlayStation 5. 15th is Stereotypy. 16th is KM Wykanen. I've butchered that pronunciation, I do apologise. 17th is our very own Chris Gedman from PlayStation FRL Head Admin, also known as the Grass Cutter. 18th is Captain. 19th is Jamie Rees. 20th is TK Drifter in the M6 BMW. One to watch though, TK, as I said, quick driver. 21st is MPL. 22nd is ACB52, I believe is a new driver to FRL, if you are welcome. 23rd is Clark. 24th is Trotty, the lowest down pro driver, so he's in for a long race. 25th is Jackie Van Eck, who has made some cracking trophies for the champions in this season 9 for FRL, so thank you for providing those, Jackie, for this season. Good luck for the race. 26th is Smithy, 27th is KY, and 28th, last but not least, is the 88 Porsche of Bailey. So that's your grid. That sets for both races. So just a reminder, if you are new to the format, we have a 20-minute sprint and a 40-minute feature race. Both are technically sprint races because there is no pit stop. So it is just, as soon as the flag drops, it is just pure racing for 20 and 40 minutes straight to the flag. And the grid will be the same for both races. So the server will just do its thing and just reset. And then we'll be underway for the formation lap. I'll be back with you in about 30 seconds, and then I'll bring you some championship standings before we kick off round 3. So I'll be back with you in a very short moment.
Alright, there is some rain in this session, so watch out for slippery curves and remember to brake earlier.
So, interestingly, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wet track, but in 15 minutes time it's going to stop raining, and this is a 20-minute race. So the last 5 minutes here, I would make sure you've got your drink and your popcorn out the way, because this could be a really exciting sprint race coming up. We've got 2 minutes until the formation lap begins, so let's just give you some championship standings throughout the Pro and Am class. So leading the way is your pole sitter, which is Ahmed Al-Douri. He leads with 148 points. He won the feature race last week. He finished 4th at Laguna Seca in both races, and then finished 2nd and 1st last race in round 2. So he's leading the way in Pro Class for 148. Second is Anderson, who finds himself P9 on this grid. He's not yet won a race this season, but been very consistent with pretty much top 5 finishes throughout both rounds thus far. He's on 142, so only 6 points behind Al-Douri. Third is Francisco Souza with 126. Fourth is Marco Patriarca. That is Stereotypy. He's down in P15, so he has got quite a way to make up tonight to gain some points. He's on 122 points. P5 in Pro Class is Dan Naisbitt. As I said, he's third on the grid, so a cracking result for him. His highest finish so far was P5 in round 2's feature race. 6 is Jason Sargent. I don't think J Sarge is racing tonight, so he's going to lose out on a few points. 7th is Paul Trotman. 8th is Dominic Wufka, but he's also not racing tonight. 9th is Nikola Buzov. He's another one who's not racing tonight. So a couple of guys from the top 10 in Pro Class are not racing tonight. 10th is Jay Brooker. You guessed it, another one not racing tonight, unfortunately. He's watching on the live stream though. 11th is Mario Arsencio. 12th is Liam Knott. 13th Jay Wazzer. 14th Alessandro Spanu. 15th Tom Fagan. And 16th Giovanni Canesa. So that is the Pro Class. And just a reminder, the top 3. Ahmed Al-Douri, Adam Anderson and Francisco Souza are the top 3 in Pro Class. Quickly switching to the Am Class. I'm conscious of time. The formation that's about to begin. So leading the way in Am Class is Michael Mulnix in the 41 BMW, so that's Cletus. Third in class, 11th overall on the grid tonight. He's on 144 points. Second is Danny McCutcheon on 126. So McCutcheon is on course tonight if he can bring the car home to real make a gain and close that gap to Michael in P1. P3 is Gordon Captain, who we see on the grid down in 18th. Fourth is Jacko Van Eck. Fifth is Jamie Rees. Sixth is Matthew Lemon. Seventh is Lee Bailey. Eighth is Camille Clack. Ninth is Christopher Gedman. 10th is Ben Berryman. 11th Michael Clark. 12th Jack Davidson. 13th Michael Dutch. 14th is Bruno Camello. 15th is Tony Hansel, and 16th is Jax Slater. And just a reminder, the top three from AM class: Michael Mulnix, Danny McCutcheon and Gordon Captain. So those are your championship standings. I think the battle to watch tonight, though, well, apart from all of the cars on the grid, is going to be between Aldori, McCutcheon and Naisbitt. McCutcheon and Naisbitt could be popcorn. They'll be in the racing chat together, they'll be on stream together, so could be fireworks between those two. But McCutcheon shouldn't really, he's got to be smart and not be bothered about Naisbitt. He's racing Ben Berryman in class, so he can't lose too much time fighting Aldori and Naisbitt if I was Danny. We've got a car in the pit lane, that's Jamie Rees, who's not been able to get started. So Jamie Rees unfortunately is going to start from the pit lane. And let's just jump on board and try and give you a helicopter camera angle off the start. Just bear with me. Here we go. Right, so we're about to get racing, ladies and gents. We're just making our way around. As you can see, a very wet Hungaroring, but just a reminder, look toward the bottom of your screens. 15 minutes time, the rain is due to stop. The question is, how quick is this track going to dry up? Considering how wet it looks right now, I think the drivers will just have to manage their wet tyres to the end. But a feature race, if it's similar conditions in the feature race with changeable conditions, we could be seeing pit stops and people diving in to change the tyres. But let's just see how we get on. So the cars are now heading into their 2x2 formation. Very much like Noah's Ark, 2x2 at the moment, considering how wet it is. As we've got a spinner towards the back of the field, that looks like a Lamborghini, a Audi off in the back of the field. Don't know who that is. I think that's Stereotypy, the 333 Audi. That's lost it on the formation lap. That's embarrassing. You won't be happy that I caught that live on stream. But here, straight, Ahmed Aldori, the number 15 AMG Mercedes, leads the field. Can he be first into turn one? He's got McCutcheon, he's got Naisbitt, he's got Frank. What is going to happen here?
Green light.
We're green, we're away. So Aldori's got an absolute race standalone start. Naisbitt goes straight in to P2, I believe, and everyone's got away cleanly so far. We've got a great shot here. So who's that down the outside? That is Naisbitt on the outside. Aldori goes a little bit deep. So far, it is all pretty much clean. There's no contact, I don't think. We've got yes, I spoke too soon. We've got a car spinning. We've got a couple of cars going wide. Let's just join towards the front of the grid, as everyone's just trying to get their braking. But so far, it has been pretty conservative from everyone, which is great to see. So, McCutcheon in second. Aldori still leads. McCutcheon in second. Naisbitt third. Moggs is up to P4. Frank is fifth. He's got Anderson behind him. As a little bit of contact. Oh, Moggs is off. Frank touches the rear of that Ferrari, and Moggs, that is so unfortunate. I think just the braking zone. And now we've got Anderson up the inside of Naisbitt. I think it is a 242 off Daniel Naisbitt. So Anderson with a great move up the inside goes up to P3. And we've got on the chicane. That's Frank. That's Friedman. Friedman on the chicane of the inside of Dan Naisbitt. Wow, that was ballsy from the Frenchman. Cletus getting involved there as well in AM class. He's got Ben Berryman. So Cletus has got ahead of Ben Berryman, but Ben Berryman's coming back, and Cletus just shows the Porsche to the grass a little bit there. You're not coming past me, he says. Let's just see how the rest of the field are doing. Gedman up to 11. Great start from Chris Gedman. Smithy as well up to 14th. And that TK Drifter at the 12th as well as a TK with a cracking start. Likewise in the M6 BMW. Let's just make our way down the rest of the field to see what's going on. So Jackie Van Aert, we've got Dries, Pixel of Chaos, Nez Moggs. He was running P4, P5 and he's all the way down in 24th position now because of the contact with Frank. That is gutting for him. But Aldori leads the way. Here he is. We're at 2.5 second lead already on the first lap. Danny McCutcheon is second. Anderson up to third now. Cracking result here. We've got Cletus and Morex. Oh, Cletus has gone a little bit deep at turn 1. That's going to open the door for Morex. Morex says, thank you very much. I'll have no change up here. I'll be straight through. So Morex goes up to P6. Cletus in 7th. Ben Berryman is now on the back of that BMW. We've got a lovely shot here of all the cars as Gedman tries and finds the apex there, as does TK Drifter. A lovely shot here of all the cars coming round this corner. And down the inside, Jackie Van Eck and Jamie Rees. We've got yellow flags out as well. We'll try and find out where that yellow flag is. Now as we see, oh, there's contact between the two cars and they're in the barrier. Oh God! Oh, we've got a car in the BMW trying to avoid the Porsche. Wow, I don't know who that BMW was. He was playing the Dodgems there. How he avoided that spinning Porsche. So let's just try and work out who we got there. So I think that was Smithy and Cletus. So Cletus, who was running third in class. I think one of them got onto the grass, lost the traction, collected the Porsche, and that BMW, well, it won't be passing an MOT anytime soon, will it? Let's just join on board with Morex. This just shows you how bad the conditions are for these drivers with the spray. Morex closed right up the back of that Lamborghini. You're just trying to get out and try and work out where he is, try and pick his braking marker with all that spray. So he's late on the brakes and he's had to get out, and he almost went into the back of Will Friedman there. He spun out. So that's Moretz, and he's going to have to rejoin safely here. Oh, he almost collects Gedman. Gedman's late early on the brakes there to avoid any incident. So let's just get you some live telemetry to see who's where. So, top 10, Aldori, McCutcheon, Anderson, Naisbitt, Friedman, Berryman, Dogshaft, Morex, Frank and Gedman. Gedman's had an absolute cracking start. He's up to P9 now, Chris Gedman. He does have a habit of keeping his nose clean and making his way up through the field, but TK Drifter as well. From P20, he's made up to 10th already with only 6 minutes gone, but yeah, BMW M6 is carrying a little bit of bonnet damage. But it hasn't done him no harm though so far. But just going back to Gedman, Gedman's currently 3rd in AM class. He'll be very happy with that. And he's got KM, what, 3-4 seconds behind him. But we're on board with Berryman now, P6 overall, 2nd in class, and he's closing that gap to Friedman. It's been a cracking race so far. We really have seen some brilliant moves from drivers. We see more action in this first 6 minutes than we've seen in Baku in the Formula 1 today. In an hour and a half racing there. But I must say, really impressive opening lap for the majority of drivers. I didn't see any stupid moves from anyone. I think that the little bit of contact we did see just seemed to be a racing incident on lap 1, so it was really clean considering the conditions on lap 1. Great to see the majority of the cars make it round fighting cleanly. So we're on board with Naisbitt, and he's down the inside of that Porsche of Anderson. Naisbitt, can he make it stick? He doesn't know, so he went a little bit too deep on the brakes. That's allowed Anderson, but can he come back at Anderson? Anderson's going to have the inside line. That speed of that Lamborghini, but he's going to have to make the move, stick round the outside. Anderson's going to have the belt line. Oh, a little bit of contact. Anderson goes off to the grass. This is going to open the door to Friedman. I think Friedman's now going to come down the inside. Oh, Berryman. He's got the inside line to the next corner. He has. So Friedman goes through. It's not Berryman, sorry, it's Anderson. I'll get my drivers mixed up there. They're running very similar liveries because they are from the same racing team. So Anderson lost a couple of positions there, and he's now got the sister Porsche of Ben Berryman behind him. The cracking action here between the top 7-8 drivers. Great shot of them all coming over through the chicane. The spray is terrible. When you're following this closely, it's really hard to pick your braking zones. Let's go back on board actually with Ben Berryman. Let's just see what it's like on board. Here we are. You can see the Bentley in the background as Anderson goes a little bit wide. It's just going to open the door to Berryman. Berryman's potentially going to send this down the inside in the braking zone. Is he going to go for it? He isn't. He's sensible, but he's going to watch out for that Bentley in the back. So Anderson's struggling here. Anderson yet again going a little bit deep. He's under pressure. Who's going to get the fair exit? Are we going to see a move into turn one? I think we are. I think Berryman's going to send it. I think he's going to lick the stamp and absolutely send it first class. He pulls out to the inside. Is he going to attempt? Oh no, he doesn't. He doesn't go for it. He doesn't send it. Oh, who's that wide? Is that Friedman? That is Friedman off at turn one. He's rejoining. Where is he going to rejoin? Is he going to get out ahead of Anderson? Here he's on board with Anderson now. Is he going to do the switcheroo on him? To Friedman to the inside. Anderson's going to cut back to the inside, but Friedman closes the door. Oh, on traction, the Porsche back end steps out. Oh, he's almost gone wide as well. We're now side by side between the two drivers, the two Porsches. Going up to what, turn 4, turn 5, the left-hander. And Berryman takes it. Blimey. Oh, there's contact between them again. A little bit of door banging. It's just absolutely mental. Missile dog shaft goes through the Bentley. Oh, and the Bentley's lost it in the chicane. I don't know if there was contact. I don't know if there was contact, but I think he's collected Anderson as well. There's that much action, ladies and gents, I can't keep up. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I just can't. Oh, there's contact again! Shit. Oh, and we've got missile dog shaft on. We've got TK Drifter who's tapped Anderson. Anderson, he must be feeling like a pinball in a machine right now. He's all over the place. Down to 8th now, Anderson. TK Drifter with a damaged BMW M6. KM is up to 10th. Clark's 11th. I don't know where Gedman's gone. I think Gedman's lost it somewhere. And the mix of all that, we've got Smithy in 26th, who's back marker. He's lapped down. Oh my, who's that off? We've got another Porsche. That is Anderson.
Not over yet.
How much damage is he carrying? He's been off track more times than he's been on it in the last 2 laps. I was only saying 2 minutes ago how impressed I was with the quality of driving in the first few laps, how everyone was really clean. And the last 2 laps have been absolutely carnage. I must say though, as we see, oh sorry, I've gone the wrong way. We see MPL down the inside of, MPL on the outside of Fagan there, I believe. So MPL is going to have the inside corner now. Inside to this corner, Fagan's on the outside. I'll get back to what I was saying in a minute after we see what happens here. Fagan's still there. You've got to leave each other space, guys. They do. Good racing from the 2 of them. And I think Frank's getting involved there as well now. So don't go 3 wide around this corner, guys. Please. Single file, please. Yep, they do. And they avoid contact somehow. So MPL takes it. He's got Frank right behind him. Here he is on board with Frank now. He was running, what, P4, P5, but we saw him have contact on lap 1 with Moggs. Right, let me get back to what I was saying. So yeah, I was saying it was fairly clean on the first couple of laps, which it was. But the last few has just been carnage. And to be honest, in their defence, I will say the conditions are probably playing a huge part. You know, a lot of these drivers who have had these bumps are normally very clean. So I think the conditions are just playing a part. We've got a Porsche spun round there. Who is that? That looked like a 423. Is that Bailey? Smithy. It's Smithy. Oh dear, what's happened here? I hope he's not rejoined and collected another driver. So, yeah, I do think the conditions have played a massive part in the incidents we've seen so far, but it has been cracking racing though. It's been cracking entertainment, you can't deny that. But ladies and gents, let's just compose ourselves and get our breath back for a minute, because look at this. Within the space of minutes, the rain has stopped, and we've now got sunshine bathing the track in Hungary. And we've got 7 minutes remaining, so how quick is this track going to dry up? The track is still wet, as you can see at the top of your screens, but the rain has stopped and the sun is out. It's almost beer garden weather looking at that sun. So let's just see how quickly this track dries up, because this could create a real spicy, if it hasn't already been, a final 6 minutes. So, Aldori still leads. He's probably wondering where everyone else is. He's been an absolute class act thus far. But he's got a decision to make now. This track starts drying up. He's going to have a decision to make. I think with only 6 minutes remaining, you just got to stick it out and let those tyres cook till the end. McCutcheon, 10 seconds behind, but again, he's had an absolute cracking race so far. Kept it quiet and kept out of all the carnage that has unfolded behind him. Naisbitt is third, but he's got Friedman very close behind. Berryman is fifth, who we saw was side by side with the sister Porsche. I tell you what, these guys from T1 SR Racing, they all race in the same party chat while racing, so it would probably be absolutely comedy gold listening back to their streams later with the action what they had earlier on in this race. Morex is P6. Gedman was 7th. I must admit it, I thought he lost it earlier on in the race, but he's not. He's up to P7 and 3rd overall in class. So the grass cutter doing very well. Tika Drifter up to 8th with an absolute banged up M6 BMW. Clark is 9th. Trotty is 10th. Good race from him so far. Moggs is 11th. He's fought his way back from back of the grid up to 11th. So he'll be happy with that. But how much damage is he carrying? We don't know. Fagan 12th, Missile Dogshaft 13th, Frank 14th, Anderson 15th, he's had a disastrous race. MPL 16th, Reese 17th, ACB 18th, the Toe 19th, who's boxed. Stereotypy 20th, Bailey 21st, Jackie Vanette 22nd, KY 23rd with an extremely banged up BMW. Picks of Chaos is retired, Captain still running in 25th, and Spiffy is out there as well, but all the way down in 26th, and Cletus is running, but he is bottom last. So, where are the battles? Let's go on board with Trotty as he's side by side with Moggs. I think Moggs has just took P10. That's Moggs through up into the top 10. So 4 minutes remaining, ladies and gents. Bright sunshine. The track is still wet. As we see, Captain is off. Yellow flags are out for the 134, which is Captain. Here he is rejoining the track. Wow, I'm going to need the next race, because this has been an absolutely carnage 60 minutes of sprint racing, but cracking entertainment, and we've had a bit of a mixture of quality driving but also some questionable driving, but in their defence I would say the conditions have probably played a part in some of the door banging we've seen. So closest battle on track at the moment does appear to be this one with Moritz and Berryman. We've got Fagan as well, very close to Trotty. They're side by side going into turn 1. So is Trotty going to get the move done on the outside? Who's going to be the latest on the brakes? We've got a spinner. Oh no, we've not got a spinner. We've got a contact though. We got contact between the two cars. We had a car out front. We looked like it stalled on track, but there was a little bit of lag there, I think. So contact between Trotty and Fagan. They've got to be careful because Missile Dogshaft and Frank are closing up now. Missile Dogshaft, is he going to go send it down the middle? He isn't. He's going to be sensible and just ease off. But now he's going to go on the outside of Trotty. We've got 4 wide here. Blimey. This is going to end up in tears, I have a feeling. So Fagan leads this group. Trotty's 12th. Missile Dogshaft 13th, but he's right on the rear of that Aston Martin. Please keep it safe, guys. They all make it around cleanly so far. Frank is in the back there. Oh, Missile's got to be really careful not run into the back of that Aston Martin. Battle for 11th, 12th, 13th and 14th here, guys. They're good driving from all 4 of them there. Made it around safely. And Freeman, he looked like he's just dropped behind Naisbitt a little bit. What's happening here? We've got TK Drifter, we've got Clark, we've got Moggs. Battle for P8, P9 and P10. Oh, I think TK's gone a little bit deep into the corner. A little bit of contact between Clark and TK. I think Clark's going to have the better exit. How much damage is that M6 carrying? Quite a lot, I think. So Moggs is down the inside. Clark's got the middle. TK Drifter falls in behind Clark in the slipstream. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Let's get on board with the helicopter cam. Let's get a better view. Here we go. Moggs down the inside of Clark. Can he make it stick? He does. They leave into a space. Really good driving from Clark and Moggs. So the number 14 Ferrari goes up to P8. There are 2 positions in the space of 2 corners. Again, leaving space, but Clark is coming back. He's going to be on the outside of the next corner, though. You've got to leave that space, guys. It's a little bit wide. TK. Oh, Clark's lost it. Clark has gone into the shadow realm. And that was all on his own. Just got a little bit eager on the loud pedal. Oh, there's contact between Moggs and TK. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Moggs is going to get a little bit of deja vu there because that is the second time in this race he has been tapped out the rear on that corner, and now Clark is going to get swallowed up by Trotty. Oh, this is going to be carnage going into the chicane. Oh, just trying to work out who's who here. This is just absolute pandemonium on the last lap here in the middle sector of the Hungaroring, the wet conditions. Oh, we've got a spinner. I think that's Fagan. No, it isn't Fagan. Who is that? It's Trotty. Trotty in the Aston Martin losing it. So Clark goes through. Just wait for the timings. Now is Trotty going to come back at Clark? I think he is. He's going to go down the inside, isn't he? He's not. He's been sensible. He's gone on the brakes very early. Anderson at the inside of Trotty. And now Missiles up the inside of Anderson. Turn 1, what's going to happen here? Last lap, ladies and gentlemen. I need a strong drink after this race. It's impossible to keep up with. So, turn 1, last lap, here we go, the battle for 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. I'll just quickly join on board with Frank, Fagan and TK, because these 3 are still battling away. Oh, is that Bentley looking a little bit out of shape there, Missile Dogshaft. He's got Anderson on the outside. Anderson's got to be careful. He's got Jamie Rees who's joined this battle as well. I've missed the leader coming across the finish line. I do apologise, Ahmed Al-Douri. Ahmed Al-Douri, absolutely first-class drive to take the win in the sprint race. Dan Naisbitt, I don't know what's happened to Andy McCutcheon. Naisbitt is going to take second place in the sprint race. Anderson. Oh, McCutcheon, I think Freeman's got him. Freeman takes third overall. McCutcheon fourth. Berryman's going to come home in fifth. Morex sixth. Gedman in seventh. I'm not sure what happened to McCutcheon there. I mean, it doesn't really matter because he still took the AM class win there for McCutcheon, but he would have been disappointed to lose second place overall. Chris Gedman's going to come home with an absolute stellar drive in P7. Moggs, well, I think he will be absolutely delighted with P8, to be honest. The fact that that Ferrari, the rear end of that Ferrari, has probably got more paintwork from other cars than it has of its own, and he's still going to bring that car home in 8th. Cracking drive from Moggs. Frank in P9, Fagan 10th, TK Drifter with a battered M6 11th, Trotty 12th, Clark is going to come home in 13th. No, he isn't. Clark's gone down, so I can't get my words out. Trotty 12th, Jamie Rees 13th, ACB 14th, MPL 15th, Clark 16th, Anderson 17th, Missile Dogshaft 18th, Sarah Tipping 19th, Bailey's going to come home in 20th, Jackie Van Eck in 21st. I don't think I've seen a single car yet with his that's actually intact apart from Aldoris. And the last car is Jackie Van Eck, and then you've got KY as well, the number 19 BMW, is the only 2 cars yet to take the flag. I say that, Jackie, as he took the flag, Jackie just about took the flag there. Talk about a limping finish. KY, it's going to come home in 22nd. Well, I think, looking at the state of some of those cars crossing the line, it looks like we've been watching a stock car race rather than the GT3 foot race. But wow, what entertainment. What entertainment. Wow, how do we debrief that? That was an absolute mental 20 minutes. Some fantastic racing, some not so fantastic racing, but entertainment nonetheless. Ladies and gents, I'm going to go get a drink and just take a breath for a couple of minutes. I'll be back with you in 2-3 minutes, and we've got to do all that all again for 40 minutes of the feature race. I'll catch you back soon. Right, ladies and gents, I am back. Apologies, I had to go get a drink, and then my front door knocked and scared the living hell out of me. It was an Amazon delivery driver. My wife had ordered something yet again from Amazon. And I frightened my life with that headphones on. So, we're back. I've just been reading the Discord. It's a shame we haven't got any
30 seconds.
live cameras or live microphones in the cool-down room at FRL ACC, because I think there would have been some good content
20 seconds.
to hear on the microphone for the driver reactions from some of the driving in that sprint race as the commentator just cracks open a beer.
10 seconds.
So, 10 seconds to go for the formation lap of this 40 minutes. It's dry at the moment, the track is still wet, but rain is on its way. So, I'd imagine the drivers have gone with wet tyres. It'd be stupid if they haven't. So, car 72, who has not got away on the grid? It's Jackie Van Eck. Just to clarify as well, there was a few drivers who didn't set a time in qualifying. Apologies, I missed it at the time, but they're actually serving a qualifying ban due to amassing a certain amount of points at FRL. If you reach a certain amount of points, you get a qualifying ban. Points on your licence, that is, not points on the leaderboard. So it explains why we had a couple of drivers not setting times, as they were not able to partake in qualifying due to points on their licence. So, I hope you got a refreshment for the next 40 minutes. Have you got some nibbles? Because I think this is going to be carnage of 40 minutes, and I hope I can keep up with it the best I can. I hope I brought you some of the best action in that last race. It is always hard as a single commentator to bring action throughout the field, so I do try and get what I can, but I believe it was very entertaining to watch. I certainly think there's going to be a lot of drivers watching it back after the race. So if you are watching live, guys, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Feel free to put any comments in the live stream as well. I am keeping my eye on the live chat. Good to see you partake in the chat, either with me or with other drivers. And if you've not already subscribed, then obviously whack that subscribe button, as we've got plenty of live action throughout PlayStation 5 and PC on Twitch and YouTube from FRL. And just to quickly squeeze in a Patreon plug, for as little as £3 a month you can be a supporter of FRL. There's a number of benefits that come with the different levels of membership. One of the benefits is having your real name displayed in the server. So you can see some drivers are showing their real names, some are not, and that is one of the benefits of being a Patreon member. But for a little as £3, it's probably cheaper than a coffee in Costa nowadays. You can be a supporter of the organisation and running costs, servers, etc. And commentary as well, although I am not being paid for tonight, it must be said. So, don't be sitting there thinking I'm not being a patron, I'm paying for Lewis's wages. I do this for free, ladies and gents. So here we go. Aldori round in the final corner. Can he make it? Back-to-back wins at the Hungary ring. We're about to find out. Let's go on board with the helicopter. With Kutchin in P2, Naisbitt third, Frank in fourth, and Friedman fifth, Mogg sixth. Friedman's got a great start. No, Frank's got a great start, not Friedman, sorry. We're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Oh, jeez. We've got 2 drive-through penalties because the cars at the back of the grid. KY and Smithy speeding at the start. We've got Anderson. Oh, there's contact between Anderson and Frank. Frank has spun. Oh, we've got numerous cars piled up due to the contact. Oh, jeez. So Frank, I think, was the loser. The contact between... Oh, and I think the 2 cars have collected each other in the back of the grid there. That's ACB. Let's just catch up with the rest of the field there. Worry about those people in a few moments. Let's just keep an eye on what's happening out the front. So, Naisbit Moggs has got up to P2. Let's just wait for the telemetry to update and we'll bring you a running order. On board with Friedman, he's in 8th, having to avoid that second chicane by going too deep. He's ahead of, behind Morex, sorry. So let's just go back to the main screen and give you a rundown of who's where. Let's see, all across the timing screen, so we'll now see the UI update. But we've got, I think, 4 cars were involved with that lap 1, turn 1 incident. So Aldori leads, Moggs up to 2nd, Naisbit 3rd, Anderson 4th, Morex 5th, Friedman 6th. Where is Danny McCutcheon? Danny McCutcheon down in 24th. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Didn't quite see what happened to McCutcheon. Anyway, Morex 5th. Oh, hang on, let's go on board with Morex. He's up the inside of Friedman, I think. Oh, no, it's Naisbit, sorry. Naisbit's got the inside. Oh, there could be contact. There's contact between Naisbit and Anderson. Oh, dear, there's more contact. Oh, jeez, guys. Back on the helicopters. Gives us the best angle of what's happening here. So Pixel of Chaos. Gedman behind these two. Gedman just lets off the gas a little bit to try and make his way around this next corner. We've got the hurricane of Naisbit going off, and he's going to have Gedman on the outside now. Is Gedman going to get the move done on the outside? I think Gedman's going to get the move done. He leaves a lot of space for Naisbit. Good driving from the pair of them. Real good driving from the pair of them. Naisbit gets the position. Really good driving between Naisbit and Gedman, leaving each other space through the chicane, and they've both avoided any contact there. So MPL 12th, Stereotypy 13th, Captain 14th, the Toe 15th, Trotty 16th, Bailey 17th, TK 18th, Frank 19th. He's had a disastrous start again. TK's going to get the move done, I think. No, he's not. He's dipped the tyres, and that's TK Drifter gone wide. Frank just about avoided contact there with the BMW. AC, oh no, it's not. Was it TK? No, it was TK. Jimmy Rees 21st, McCutcheon 22nd, disaster for him. We've got a car off up front as well. It's car number 32. That's Mr. Dogshaft, who had gone off. He's now got TK Drifter, I think. No, that's the Aston Martin. Apologies, I'm getting my drivers mixed up in the carnage that's unfolding in front of me. Let's just go on board with Aldori, because he's come out behind, I think, that's a back marker. And I think, hang on, TK's had a bit of a moment. Aldori's had a moment coming out. It's going to open the door for Moggs. Iggs Moggs going to have an opportunity here to take the lead of this race. He's on the outside. Aldori's got the inside. They leave each other space. Moggs goes for a little bit of a switcheroo. Aldori's now got the inside line though. I think Aldori's going to maintain P1. He has, and Moggs has lost it. Moggs has lost it. He's going to keep it at the barrier. No, he's not. Moggs is in the barrier. Anderson's going to come flying through. Anderson now to P2. Friedman. Is Friedman going to get third? He is. Friedman's going to get third. Morex is now behind the stricken Ferrari. Moggs, oh dear me, just got a little bit excited, I think, trying to get back at Aldori and just lost it on the traction. We've got more cars off. We've got Captain off in the barrier, I think. No, we've got Stereotypy's off. Audi just parked to the side, safely not rejoining in traffic. It's good to see. It's Stereotypy all the way down the grid now. Aldori extending that lead. Anderson up to second now. Friedman up to third. Moggs fourth, but he's got damage to that Ferrari. We've just seen that. Morex fifth. Let's go on board actually with some of these drivers and just give you some more on board action. On board with Morex behind Moggs, the Ferrari. Battle for P4. drivers are just pulling to the side to try and pick their braking markers out of the spray of the car in front. Moret's good on the brakes there, closed right up to the Ferrari. I think Mods is going to get a run on Friedman potentially here. This is where Mods lost the car on the last corner, the last lap, sorry. He's navigated it better this time. You can just see there on board how it's so hard for these drivers to pick their braking points. So Cletus leads AM class. Berryman is 7th overall but 2nd in class, so the battle for AM class lead is well and truly on between Cletus and Berryman. Pixel Chaos 8th, Naisbit 9th, Gedman again, who we saw came home in 3rd in class last race, he's finds himself 3rd in class again. He's got MPL, the Aston Martin, on the charge behind him. Captain 12th, TK Drifter yet again with a banged up M6 BMW in P13, ACB 14th. Bailey's having a better race in P15. Reese 16th, go on board with Reese behind the 88 Porsche as we see Bailey go wide. And Jamie Reese says thank you very much. Adios. Up to P15 goes Reese. As we see Bailey in the background go off yet again. We're going to have McCutcheon coming through as well now, so Bailey's lost 2 positions in the space of 2 corners. And Bailey's going to be careful, he's going to have to tow down the inside. The toe, getting his big toe in the inside corner. Oh, there's contact between the two. Oh, that is a little bit poor. It looked like the toe just turned in on the Porsche. And Bailey, well, he's completely gone. That was a little bit sloppy there from the 69 BMW. Looked like he just turned in without really realising the toe. Bailey was there. But now, Frank is going to be all over the back of the toe, and Frank's going to have the inside line. Is he going to be late on the brake? Can he get this move done in turn 1? It's looking good so far. Toe's going to have a good run though, but Frank should have it. This is the battle for 17th. Got the yellow flags out. I'll try and find out where that is in a moment. We've got green flags. Far off up ahead. We've got a slow car apparently. Yes it is. Who is that? Who is that? Is that McCutcheon? It's not McCutcheon. Now, anyway, ACB all over the back of TK Drifter now. I don't know how much damage TK is carrying. Get on board with that Aston Martin. Fantastic sound of the Aston. So we're 10 minutes into this race, but ladies and gents, just keep an eye on that forecast. It is going to stop raining in 5 minutes time. We could be having a dry end to this race. The question is, how much is this track going to dry up? We saw it did not dry up at all in the last 8 minutes. Oh, last 8 minutes of the sprint race. Oh, there's contact between the two. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, and there's contact behind as well, and there's more contact. That is sloppy. So sloppy. To be fair to TK, he was stopped. He didn't really have anywhere else to go, and the cars are still trying to send it up the inside. I think drivers do have to be just a little bit more careful when they see contact up ahead, just to let off the gas. I think too many times people see incidents up ahead on the road and they just still keep their foot planted. You've got to try and preempt. Try and, you know, yellow flags at the end of the day are there. Be prepared to stop. There's an incident up ahead. And too many times you see drivers just not easing off on the throttle when they see contact up ahead. So, Aldori still leads. He's got a lead now of 4.2 seconds to Anderson, who's got a 2-second lead to Moggs. But Morex is closing Moggs down. So this is the battle for Pro class. Top 4 are Pro. We then have the battle for Am class with Cletus and Berryman. These two still neck and neck. Will Freeman is a little bit in no man's land at the moment in P7. Naisbit in 8th, but Naisbit is under pressure from Gedman. And Gedman will be licking his lips right now. These two we saw were side by side, only a few laps to go. These two are still having a little bit of a ding dong. And Gedman will be looking to ring that doorbell of Naisbit anytime soon. That's an awful pun into it, and I do apologise. So, MPL, Gedman's just dropped MPL a little bit, so it's good news for Gedman. MPL needs to try and close that gap if he wants to get on the podium in An-Class. But yellow flagged out again. I think ACB's off. ACB is off. He's going to have the 32 of Missile Dogshaft up the inside now. Yep, Dogshaft goes through. ACB could come back at him though. Oh, apologies, I did not mean to split there. There we go. So, is ACB going to make a dangerous move up the inside on the brakes? Nearly. I think Missile Dogshaft was lucky to outbrake himself there, because I think he would have had an Aston Martin in the rear end of him if he didn't outbrake himself. The Aston Martin loses it. Oh, sorry, the Bentley, do apologise. The Bentley loses it on traction. It almost collects ACB. So Clark is back out in 24. I think we had a couple of drivers who have left the server, so they'll be getting called to the steward's room for that. KY is just completely boxed and stayed in the pit lane as he's got a drive through from lap 1. Stereotypy 24th. Fagan all the way down in 22nd. He's very low, a long way back. 20 seconds, in fact. Let's just go on board with Morex and Anderson, because I think, yeah, Morex has jumped up to P4. I've missed that on track, apologies, but Morex is now up to 3rd place and Anderson's now down to 4th. So Morex up into a podium position. Cletus is just starting to build a little bit of a gap to Berryman for the fight for Am-Class. Let's just jump on board with the battle for 13, because I thought, oh my dearie me, I've jumped on board and look at that, jumped on board into an absolute carnage. So what's happened here? McCutcheon, I don't know who that was. Let's go back to P2 actually, because I think Moggs has had a moment. Moggs, who, in fact, who's lost out? Was it Freeman? Was Freeman running second? I can't quite remember. As we see, Morex down the inside. Oh, that was a very risky move, and it did not pay off. I think that was a little bit silly, to be honest. I don't think there was. That was a very late move up the inside at a corner where overtaking was pretty much nearly impossible. I know we saw Freeman do it at the inside of Naisbit in the sprint race, but that looked like it was a very far back move from Morex. It did not pay off, and he's still stuck behind the number 14 Ferrari of Moggs. He's got to watch out there, because Anderson's behind him and Cletus is closing up to these pro guys. But Cletus, really, if I was you, Cletus, just don't get involved with these guys. You've got to think about Berryman behind you. So, the rain... Oh, we see Cletus! I say that! And Cletus has lost it. Where's Berryman? Is Berryman going to go through? Oh, he's lost it again, trying to get the car going. So Berryman goes through to take the lead of Am-Class. Where's Gedman? I don't think Gedman's close enough. I don't think Cletus hasn't got going yet. He's got going now. So where's Gedman? Is Gedman going to take P2 in class? They're side by side going into the final corner. I think Cletus is going to have a better line though. But can Gedman get the better exit? This is the battle for 2nd place in Am-Class. Let's jump on board with the old helicam. What is Gebber going to do? Is he going to send it? He's not quite close enough, I don't think. Being quite conservative there, Gedman, but he could come back at Cletus now. Cletus going to defend that inside. Now it's Gedman up the inside. Gedman a little bit late on the brakes. Oh, he would have been worrying there. He would have been worried about taking him out. So, battle for the top 4 really is heating up. Let's just jump on board with these guys to get you an in-car shot. I say that, and we've now got ACB. That's Clark. That's Clark's out of position. He should be yielding really for blue flags. He won't, and ACB won't be happy if Clark takes him out. The McCutcheon goes through. ACB is looking quite slow up ahead though. McCutcheon will be looking to make his way back through the field. Right, I wanted to jump on board with the top 4, so just bear with me as I flick through the order. Anderson, here we go, and the sun is now starting to come out as the late evening here in Hungary approaches. We're 10 to 7 local time. Now, question is, how quickly is this track going to dry up? Beautiful late evening sun now appearing across the track. And we've got 20 minutes remaining, so if the track dries up, the drivers have got a decision to make. We'll be having a dry line potentially appear, but I don't think it is going to dry up. I don't know. It's hard to tell. This is what is the wonder of changeable conditions. You just don't really know what's going to happen. It's late on in the evening. Temperatures are not that high, so it may not dry up. The track could just remain wet, damp, etc. It may not even get to the point where dry tyres will be optimal. It certainly isn't dry tyres at the moment, that's for sure. But there's 21 minutes remaining, so who knows? So, where is the action? Gedman at McCutcheon's got past ACB. So if you are enjoying the race, guys, do drop a like on the video. As we see, Will Friedman has moved ahead of Ben Berryman, so Friedman is up to 5th, Berryman drops to 6th. Berryman leading the AM class race at the moment. And he has quite a healthy gap to Cletus, so Berryman just got to bring the car home. He'll be on course for an AM class race win, as we see Jeff, the race engineer, comes online to say we're halfway through the race. So it's 22 degrees, so it is quite warm, to be fair. It is quite warm, 23 track. I think this could get interesting, guys. I do actually hope it does dry up for dry tyres, I really do. There'll be carnage in the pit lane. Hopefully there's no photographers in the pit lane as the cars come into the pits. As any of you watching the F1 earlier would have seen the absolute disastrous organisation going on towards the end of the Baku Grand Prix earlier today, when I think it was Ocon who got all the way to the end of the race without making his mandatory stop, came in with the last lap remaining, and there was people in the pit lane and photographers are diving left, right and centre to avoid. Yet again, more calamity in the world of Formula 1. There seems to be more carnage off the track at the moment than there is on it. especially if you're a certain race driver from Kings Lynn, i.e. George Russell, who was having a fairly, I would say, fair and square crack at overtaking Max Verstappen, but Max didn't like it. Funny enough, doesn't like people overtaking him aggressively. Ironic that, isn't it, really? Anyway, back to GT3, and we've got yellow flags out. Captain is off in Sector 2. Here he is. And we seem to have a little bit of a traffic jam forming behind ACB. We've got Missile Dog Shaft. Is that McCutcheon? It is. McCutcheon's gone off again. So McCutcheon goes from bad to worse, and he's got Clark, the back marker, who's in 22nd amongst these lot as well. So McCutcheon drops down to 16th. And Clark, who is completely out of position here, but clearly the quicker driver. I think Clark is going to make a move at the inside. He is. He pulls to the inside now. And can he get the car stopped in time? Yeah, no. McCutcheon goes back on through. McCutcheon will not be liking this battle because it's not for position. Is Clark going to have a look at the inside? He is. McCutcheon's got a leading space. There's a little bit of contact between the two. Looks like Clark just understeered into him. It was a little aggressive considering he's a back marker, but McCutcheon is slow. McCutcheon loses out to the toe as well, I think. I think the toe goes on through. And he does. Still no sign of a dry line appearing. 60 minutes remaining. The track is still wet. Mog Aldori still leads. Mog second. Morex is up third. Anderson fourth. Friedman fifth. Berryman sixth. Naisbitt seventh. Cletus eighth. MPL is up to ninth now. So MPL's got past Gedman. Gedman, not sure what happened there. Frank is 11th. Jimmy Rees 12th. ACB. Oh no, ACB is 13th. Sorry, Captain's 12th. ACB 13th. Jimmy Rees is now down to 14th. Missile Dog Shaft is 15th. Toe 16th. McCutcheon 17th. Pixel of Chaos 18th. We then have Jackie Van Eyck in 19th and Fagan. Fagan is very close behind them. Battle for 19th here, on board with the 747 of Fagan. So can Fagan stick close to Van Eyck and make a move into turn one? I don't know if he's close enough, and that Audi is quick in a straight line. Jackie's trying to avoid the slipstream there, a little bit of weaving. We've got a car off up ahead as well. What's happened up ahead? Car number 69, I think. So that is the toe. The toe. And the toe is severely damaged. Wow, that BMW is absolutely... Oh, is the Aston Martin... Is that Pixel of Chaos? Oh, dearie me. So Pixel of Chaos and the toe is obviously had to come in together, because those two look like they're just coming back from war. And let's just jump on board with ACB, because there's a real traffic jam now forming behind ACB. The captain right behind him, and the 32 of Missile Dog Shaft is also there. back on board with Fagan. Here he is, still stuck behind Van Eyck. So this is the battle for P17. Fagan will be frustrated being stuck behind the M-Class driver. This is not really a battle for... It's battle for position on track, but not really. There are different classes. But nonetheless, it's fighting for position overall. But Jackie has got every right to defend his position. Let's just jump on board with Chris Gedman, because I think he's under pressure from Frank. He's under pressure from car number 88. Who is that? That's Bailey. So Bailey, who's right down in 21st, is all over the back of Gedman. So this is not really for position. And back on board with Missile Dogshaft because he's got ahead of ACB now. And the captain follows him. 12 minutes remaining. We've got 22 degrees. Dry condition. Well, it's not raining, shall I say, but the track is still wet as we see Captain up the inside of ACB on a very risky manoeuvre down on that right-hander. That was brave from Captain. All this contact between the two drivers as well, the Audi and the Aston Martin. I think Captain's going to have the inside line though, he is. And can he get the traction on the back end, stepping out a little bit? ACB looks to the outside. But Captain moves up to 13th position. And Jamie Reeves will now be looking to do the same move on ACB. Or Jamie Reeves have a little look at the inside. He's going to have the better run. He is. He's got to leave space though for ACB on the inside. He's going to have to get this move done on the outside, Jamie Reeves. He leaves some space. He's not going to have the inside to the right-hander. That's cracking driving from the 108 BMW. Jamie Reeves up into 14th position there. Cracking driving. Let's just see how our race leader's doing here. He's not been on screen much because he's been in a different race on his own. A gap now of about 8 seconds, I believe. Number 15 AMG CrowdStrike Mercedes of Ahmed Al-Douri. Mogson 14th, that was his car number. I've got a car leaving the pits there. I think that was the tow, fixing the damage he had. There's Anderson 4th, Freeman in 5th. Berryman still leading AM-Class. Great shot there of the cars. Ben Milden, Moggs slowly catching Am. 7.2 the gap now, we'll keep an eye on it. He was a couple of seconds behind him, but earlier in the race, I think Al-Douri made a little bit of an error somewhere. That gap has increased, but I'll keep an eye on it, see if it is coming down. He's got, what, 9 minutes remaining, so he's got to get a move on. I do think Al-Douri has got that in the bag though, but never say never. Commentator's curse and all that. So battle for 12th rages on. We've got Captain, Reeves, ACB, and I think that's still Clark. It is. It's Clark still trying to make his way through the field. This is Clark and Reeves. Oh, Clark has a little look inside. Oh God, I was worried there. He's flashing his headlights. I mean, end of the day, mate, you are a lap down. And these guys are battling for position here. It's a tricky one. Gap now, Ben Milden, you probably are correct. 6.8 seconds now, so it is coming down slowly, but certainly not enough at this rate. Well, 6.3 now, so it's down even further. So is Aldori, is his tyres overheating? Is he carrying damage? I don't think he's carrying damage. Keep an eye on it. 8 minutes remaining, 6.3 through the last sector. We're going to go through, we'll keep on board with Moggs actually, through this middle sector and through to the next timing screen just to see what the gap is. We've got a little bit of traffic though ahead of him. That could have just been Aldori losing time in the traffic, to be fair. The gap, we're about to find out what it is. Lost a tenth in that middle sector, Moggs, and as you see he's got traffic and this is where he could lose time. To be fair, the Aston Martin gets out of the way quite nicely. Gap across the line, 6.3, so he's gained a tenth back. Just jump on board with Friedman because he's closing up to the back of that Porsche, Triple Eight Porsche of Anderson, battle for 4th place. Friedman very close now to Anderson. Track has just changed to damp, so slight tweak in conditions on track now, so those wet tyres could start overheating a little bit. Drivers may have to start there hunting for the wet patches, but I think they'll be okay. 6 minutes to go, they'll be okay. I had a race last night around Brands Hatch with changeable conditions where I went from wet to damp, and the tyres really can overheat quite quickly as soon as the track starts drying up. But there's only 5 minutes remaining, 6 minutes remaining, they should be okay. But Friedman really is all over the back now, that Triple Eight Porsche. Cracking driving from the pair of them so far. Anderson, who really is just probably thankful that he's not been hit about 20 times in this race so far. Yeah, disastrous sprint race. Having a better feature race though. He's got the smoking Frenchman all on his tail though. And Friedman could be in a great place going into turn 1 here if he can stick with the Porsche through this final corner. Gap in front, now down to 5.6, excuse me. So, Friedman not close enough to make a move on Anderson. That Aston Martin getting out of the way nicely though, that is Pixel of Chaos getting out of the way. Back marker. So battle for 4th place on your screens. Let's just jump on board to see what the conditions are like on board now. So the spray is considerably less. Friedman having a little look, just to let you know, I'm looking up the inside, mate. Traction off that Porsche is great though, and this is where I would excel in the slower corners around here. back marker of Trotty getting out of the way nicely. Freeman taking a very different line to Anderson. He's taking the later apexes. Oh, Anderson's gone deep. This is the view from Anderson's rear spoiler with the smoking Frenchman behind. Freeman is running out of time. As we see, the leader is on his final lap, Howard Aldori. Gap down to 4.7. It certainly has closed in the last 10 minutes, but not enough for Moggs to close in. Aldori just got one lap to go to secure a double race win here tonight at the Hungary in extremely challenging conditions. It's been a cracking drive. Very quick drive at Aldori on his day, as we've seen tonight. Finished runner-up in the Endurance Series last season. And he's actually going to be driving in the round 3 of the ESSA 28 driver swap at Bathurst in a couple of weeks' time. I believe he's stepping in as a reserve driver for one of the teams. I can't quite recall off the top of my head who that is, but I believe I am correct in saying that he will be stepping into the car. So we'll be seeing him at Bathurst, which is not good news for other drivers, as he's very quick, as you see Moggs in the background there, going a little bit wide on that right-hander. But Aldori is only a few corners away now for this feature race win, double race win tonight. Round the final corner, the headlights flashing. Ahmed Aldori, number 15 AMG Mercedes, takes the flag. That is your race winner tonight. Moggs comes home in second place. Cracking drive from Moggs. Morex is going to come home in third. Has Anderson fought off the smoking Frenchman? He has. Anderson's going to come home in fourth, despite late pressure from Will Friedman. And Ben Berryman is a corner away from being AM class race winner in the feature race tonight. Here he comes in the 518 Porsche. Berryman takes the flag. Ben Berryman, great drive from him. Naisbitt's going to come home in 7th overall, 6th in class. Cletus in 2nd place in class. Thanks, Ben. So yeah, just to confirm, AMS is driving for the second SPR team. So yeah, certainly a strong driver lineup there. Frank takes the flag for P9, MPL 10th, and Gedman going to come home in 4th in class, P11 overall. Solid drive from Gedman tonight. Captain 12th position. Jamie Rees very close, takes 13th, ACB 14th. McCutcheon race to forget in the feature tonight, all the way down in 15th. He won't be a happy Scotsman. Fagan managed to get ahead of Van Eyck. We saw him stuck behind Van Eyck earlier on, but he's got ahead of him and will take the flag in 16th position. Here comes Van Eyck in 17th, and he's the final driver across the line. Let's just get you the rest of the grid as well. So Pixel of Chaos is an 18th, Bailey 19th, Clark 20th, Trotty 21st, Stereotype 22nd, Missile Dogshaft 23rd, The Toe 24th, Tico Drifter 25th, KY 26th, Smithy 27th, and KM 28th. But those drivers were all DNFs. So Toe, TK, KY, Smithy, and KM all DNFs from that feature race. So, I'm out of breath. That was some drive tonight from Aldori, and some cracking drives as well from other drivers in the grid. Some questionable driving, it must be said, from others. I think the stewarding team will be busy tonight up into the early hours into Bank Holiday Monday reviewing some of the tickets. I think they will be busy. But overall, yeah, 2 cracking races. Brilliant entertainment, it must be said. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let's just have a quick look at the calendar, just to see where we are heading to next. So, next week we head to the east of England, Norfolk, birthplace of myself. We head to Snetterton. That is going to be a love-hate relationship for some drivers. Snetterton is an interesting track. Interesting is one word for it. So, yes. Snetterton up next for round 4. Round 5, sorry, we head to Silverstone, a cracking track that. Round 6 is Bathurst. Round 7 is the Nürburgring. Round 8, Misano. Round 9, Zandvoort. And round 10, we head to South Africa for Kyle Army for the season finale. So, that has been round 3 of the PureSimGear Super Sprint GT3 racing on Formula Racing League PlayStation 5. I hope you've enjoyed the Sunday evening racing. Stay tuned this week for races on Tuesday night. We have Taco Tuesdays at Hungaroring. We have commentary from the Pro-Am Tier 2 class. We don't have commentary for Pro Tier this week as our commentator is on annual leave. So no comms for Tier 1 this week, but we do have Tier 2. And then 2 weeks' time, we have round 3 of the driver swap at Bathurst. That has been very popular this season with a lot of viewers, so stay tuned for watching that live stream if you are not driving in that. That is on a week Friday. So yeah, have a cracking Bank Holiday Monday. It's been a pleasure as always. Take care, have a good week, see you on track. Bye bye.